give you his side.
I'll give you her side.
But together, there's only one side.
All pointing to the one source.
In the beginning,
This is the One Flesh Podcast.
Welcome to the One Flesh Podcast. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about unpopular opinions. In today's world, today's society, there's all kinds of opinions going around. Some of the opinions that people have are unpopular, hence the topic of the day, unpopular opinions. Yeah, we're going to navigate through some of those and discuss some of those in today's episode.
All right. Well, my name is Pastor Richard Irvin.
And I'm Deja Irvin.
All right. And today, yes, like my wife said, we are discussing unpopular opinions. And we got a couple listed here today. Which one you want to start off first?
I want to start off with you should date to marry, not date for fun.
I like that one.
So, unpopular opinion, you should date to marry, not date for fun.
Sound good.
So, some of the main things that came to mind when I was thinking of this topic is, like, I don't know if you've, like, seen this on social media, but, like, this may be even more of a female thing, but sometimes women will go on a date with a guy for pity or go on a date with a guy for free food. Like, I've seen people be like, oh, the girl had the number in their phone as free food. Or people even just go on a date out of boredom. It's like, oh, I'm bored this Friday or Saturday night. I met this guy. I'm going to go on a date with him. Or people even date out of loneliness just because they don't want to be alone. So they just go on a date.
Yeah.
And so I guess this is my unpopular opinion because I think popular belief is that this is okay to date this way. Because I meet people all the time. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to date this person, that person, and going on all these dates. And I just, sometimes I'm curious as like, why? What's the motive behind it? So, yeah, I would definitely say that is my unpopular opinion. That you should not date for fun. You should date to marry. The really the intention behind it as a believer, if you're meeting, trying to meet someone, should be to walk in the eventually walk in the covenant that God created. That should be your standard. And so, going on dates for fun and for free food and going on a date with a guy you're not even interested, are you really walking in love at that point if you're, just doing it for leisure or fun and you don't really care about the really other person's emotions, or even, doing it out of loneliness or out of boredom? I would wrestle with my own heart, like, are there voids that you need God to fill that you're trying to fill with just casually dating?
Exactly. Well, let me go from the other perspective. Even though I agree with you 100%, I wanted to, like, it's unpopular opinions. I know people got their own opinion about this as well too. So what if a woman been hurt in the past and they feel like, I don't really have no intentions right now of getting married no time soon. I'm a 20-year-old woman and I don't feel like getting married right now. Like, for example, recently, what's his name? Michael B. Jordan and Steve Harvey's daughter.
The hot topic.
The hot topic right there. She was younger than him. And his intentions was he knew he had it in mind of being married, but she's younger. So her mind is like, I don't feel like getting married right now. I just want to have fun, enjoy our life, this and that, this and that. What you guys say women like that have been hurt in the past or are just younger and don't feel like marriage is something they arsenal or they plan right now?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think first and foremost, if you've been hurt in the past, I think one of the priorities for you is working through that hurt and dealing with that hurt, because hurt people. So if you're getting another relationship and you're still dragging on to that hurt, it's just not going to go in a good direction.
Exactly.
And then I guess the second part that I would say, as far as like, oh, not ready to, get married or settle down or things like that, I guess I would kind of still piggyback off of a little bit of what I said earlier as far as really wrestling, with your own heart, asking God to search your own heart is like what is your motives for why you don't want to settle down? What is your motives for why you want to, you're not ready to get married?
Exactly.
Is your motive that you're looking on social media and you think it's supposed to be a hot girl summer because everybody is telling you, oh, girl, you're only 22. Go do this. Go do that.
Yeah.
Or is that really where God is leading you to do? And if that is the case, then like I said, don't drag another person into that, because that's really unloving in my opinion for you to do that, and kind of selfish. So
yeah, I like that. That's really good. All right, next one. My turn. My unpopular opinion is marriage is not for everyone. That's my unpopular opinion, and I feel it's true. I mean, you got people that are just not the right married material, I would say. And I think like some people are so stubborn in their ways. And I believe God can change anybody. I believe God could give a desire to somebody that had no desire for marriage in the beginning. But I feel like some people are just stubborn in their ways to not change. Like you have some women that are so controlling, so independent that they don't want that leadership role in their life as a husband to be the leader in their life. They rather just be the guy in the lead and not willing to submit. They have men who don't mature. Like they literally don't mature. Like they never take that I guess they never had that mature growth in their life to even like work on themselves or try to mature themselves so they could be able to lead a family or to be a husband.
That's
so
good.
I think some men and some women are not marriage material, and that's okay. It's a lot of biblical, a lot of great men and women of God in the Bible who did not get married. One good example was Paul. A great man of God who never been married, who never had kids, and nothing like that. But yet God used them outside of marriage. And he taught people about marriage in his books. And the half of the New Testament, Paul wrote half of the New Testament. And a lot of the books, he talked about how women should submit to their wives. Women should submit to their husbands, and how men should not exasperate their children. Like he gave sound wisdom advice to men and women of God who were married without being married. And gave sound wisdom advice to people who had kids, and Paul never had kids. He had spiritual kids. He had Timothy. He had Titus. He had all the people that he could be able to be a spiritual father. But Paul was never married, and it was an advantage of it because also God used that to God's advantage to be able to be maneuver and to be able to move anytime he wanted to because he wasn't just stuck to a family. And Peter was a great example of a person that could not go everywhere at a time because he had a family. Jesus told him himself, like, hey. When Jesus was with him, he was like, hey, go back to your family. Take care of your mother-in-law. Go stay with them. It's okay. We going to go here. You come meet with us later on. And Jesus understood that. And not everybody some people that are married cannot do full-time ministry because they have a family. And then people that are not married have an advantage to do full-time ministry because they don't have a family. So marriage is not for everyone. So the next topic, the next unpopular opinion, we do got a different opinion about this. I mean, and you stand on this, and a couple of the unpopular opinions that we have, we don't have to agree.
Yeah.
Because it's not a...
it's unpopular.
Yeah, it's unpopular, and you don't have to agree to it. And it's unpopular in the Christian community, I guess. I would say outside the world, but it's unpopular in the Christian community. So what is your unpopular opinion? Let people know.
So my unpopular opinion is that I can't even say I hate. I'll say I dislike the word courting. When Christians use the word courting constantly as a standard of what you're supposed to be doing, dating wise. And I'm going to give my reasons, okay? You can't give an argument and then you don't have nothing to back it up. That's what this generation does. Y'all got to learn how to argue better than that.
Okay.
So number one, the point that I have is that the Bible provides principles and boundaries for walking this thing out. The Bible doesn't say you have to say courting. The Bible doesn't say you have to say dating. The Bible doesn't say you have to say any of these terms that really are man-made terms that we made up. In my opinion, courting is really, just like dating, a tradition of men. if you think about the progression of courting, different cultures all over the world and how they court, it looks different everywhere. So when people just use a generic term, oh, you're supposed to be courting, in my mind, that's like, what does that mean? Because there's no like really standard of what courting is like. And different, even not even in different countries, even in America, courting looks different for Amish, for Mormon, for Christian, for, you know what I'm saying? If you lived in the 19th century, 20th century, courting is looked differently everywhere. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like the word courting, because in my opinion, it's not clear. And I believe as believers, we need to be clear when we're talking about specific things.
Okay. Now, I'm going to the side of people that are listening right now.
I'm still not done with
the first step.
Okay, go ahead.
That's your first point.
Go ahead.
All right. I would say that the word courting is never in the language of a person that's in the world. Because for one, I was in the world myself personally, and I never heard the word courting until I became a Christian. So if the definition of dating has been so messed up, I would think in a belief of us as believers in Christ, we should have a particular word that will make it very clear to anyone that we are dating our intentions of dating. And I believe the word courting is the perfect word for it, because the world doesn't use that word. So I believe that it's a great word to use, because people outside of the Christian faith, or outside of faith in general, because other religions use courting as well too, our faith in general doesn't use the word courting. So it's a great word to use for your upfront intentions of what you intend to do with that person.
But what do you say then about, okay, you're saying people in the world don't use the word courting. People in other religions use the word courting. Yeah. You would consider them as in the world?
No, I mean, they are in the world, of course, but I would say that their intentions of dating also as well too is to marry as well too. Because in their culture or their religion, they believe in marriage. But like Muslim, for example, they court as well too. Even though they teaching everything is off, it still relates to the same understanding of, okay, my intention of dating is to marry, regardless of what a biblical marriage thing is. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I say courting is a word that is biblical. It's a word that helps the person that you are dating to understand your intentions of dating. It's not just to like date. So the word like the first opinion, I think is go good well with the word courting, because you understand that you understand their intentions right away. Like, oh, I want to court. I don't want to just like date to date. I want to court with you. I want to know that this is my intentions. And at the end of the day, while we're dating, our end goal is to be married.
Okay. I can understand that point of view. Still don't agree. But that's okay.
That's okay. That's what it's for.
So my second argument, and I don't even know if I put this on here. My second opinion about not liking the word courting is that if you look at the history of courting, there is a huge family element to courting. If people that are using the word courting in today's context, 9 times out of 10, family ain't got nothing to do with it. So that's why I say that you cannot use it's hard to use a word that has been defined as one thing, and now you're taking it and using it as something other. And my mind doesn't just shift like that to know that, oh, now you're using it in a more correct way, a more biblical way. In historical context, courting had a lot to do with the family. Typically, you're going to be courting somebody that is good for you, good for the family. There's possibly money involved, the dowry involved, all of those factors. Oh, yeah. Today, when somebody says courting, none of that is involved. Nah. And so, realistically, are we really even courting? Because that's not even, we're not even, doing that. Even in our case, our family did not even know we were dating at first, and we were courting, as you would say. But if you were to look in a historical context, they probably would say we weren't courting, because it was not like my dad met your family and presented each other. And so that's another reason why I don't like the word courting. Doesn't give a clear definition or clear picture.
I got you. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. we still disagree.
And then my last point, which I'm gonna go through this quickly because getting to the
we're getting time. We all about 18 minutes.
Okay, so the last point that I would make about my opinion about not using the word courting, again, this is unpopular opinion. I believe courting, the way that I have been defining it, has worked in the historical context for which it worked in. There's all kinds of things in the Bible, in the scriptures, where Paul would go to a specific town or city that was dealing with specific things and had to address those specific things. And I would say courting, as far as historically, was more of the man. I would say it's more of the man has more of a choice, I would say, than what the woman has. And that's a double-edged sword, honestly, because I think most of the problems that we have today's society with dating is because we just got too many options and too many choices and too many but at the same time, as a woman, if I was to put myself in that, kind of context and thinking, okay, the pressure of getting married at that time, that was your main contribution really to the family, is for you to get married. So you got that pressure. And like I said, the money that comes with it, the honor, there was a lot of other factors that goes into it, and that pressures that goes into it. And today we don't have those kinds of pressures. Your main contribution to the world as a woman is not getting married and having a family. And so I just think that courting is not a word that is appropriate to use currently. I think we should come up with another word. I really do, because I understand the part about dating is a worldly term. I definitely 100% understand that. But I also think that courting is very much the tradition of man, and I'm not ruled by tradition of man. I'm ruled by God and what he says I need to do.
I got
and
you.
So, there's my unpopular opinion.
Okay. Well, I think that was a great ending, definitely, for an episode called Unpopular Opinion.
Yep.
And for all those who are listening, you probably think this is unpopular as well, too. And you probably have some other unpopular opinions as well, too. So we would like to for y'all to comment down below some of your unpopular opinions. What do you think, the craziest, or what is something that the world thinks that that's definitely counteracting to God as well too?
Sugar in your grits,
or salt
in your grits.
Savory or sweet? Saved
or not saved? That's the question.
I'm biased. I like both. I don't like grits that much. I gotta have mine.
That means you lukewarm.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but let us know in the comment section what are some of your unpopular opinions, and if you agree or disagree with any of the opinions that we said. And also make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to share the video with somebody else and a couple to have a nice little debate that they may have as well too at the end. But we all will love each other at the end of the day. At the end of the day. Well, thank you all for watching, and God bless you.
See ya.